Cloute Inc. is a building service contractor, and we clean buildings, we maintain buildings, and anything it takes to take the chores away from the customer.
Cloute is a third-generation family-owned company. We have a bunch of different divisions. Essentially, we are building service contractors. We're in the business of kind of simplifying building needs, whether that be commercial, residential.
Cloute is a cleaning company. We simplify cleaning in businesses and in homes. We do hard surface cleaning. We will take care of all your janitorial services. And I guess kind of the thing that we pride ourselves on is your chore is our passion. So any of the other little things that come up that you might struggle along the way, we probably have an answer for you.
There's a lot of jobs around the house that our customers could perhaps do themselves, but they choose not to, because oftentimes it's dangerous getting on ladders, cleaning out gutters. They don't have the equipment. Power washing involves an investment. Painting, of course, is tedious work. And the reality is that because our people are so highly trained and do it so well and do it so repeatedly, they can do it much faster and with a much higher level of ultimate quality.
At Cloute, we have 3 separate divisions that we break out. We have our daytime cleaning division, which cleans gutters, siding, windows, carpet, all different things we can clean for our customers. And our painting division is interior, exterior painting, pre-finished work like cabinets and doors, any exterior work as far as lead-based paint, we can take care of that for our customers. And then our nighttime janitorial division is cleaning commercial buildings, whether it's taking out the trash, cleaning a bathroom, medical facilities, banks, offices, things like that. We'll take care of that along with the light maintenance. We tell our employees that they should treat every building they're in as if it's their own. Take an owner's perspective and treat it like they would want their own building to be treated.
See, we were young when he started the business, but from stories that they told us as we grew, both Mom and Dad came from rather large families and grew up during the Depression and really didn't have much of anything. And they told stories of going to friends' homes where they would have fresh fruit on the table and things like that, things they never had. And they wanted better for their kids.
My grandpa Jim Cloute started the business back in 1953, and at the time he was working in a factory, and he would do that during the week, and then on the weekends and nights he would go out and wash windows. He got a bucket and a squeegee and went door to door and washed windows. And when that business built to a point where he could get rid of his factory job, he did the window cleaning full time. And at that point, he worked alongside a guy by the name of Mickey. And they built their business up to a point where Mickey said he kind of wanted to go out on his own, and he decided to go north of Johnson Creek, and my grandpa went south of Johnson Creek. And they'd get bigger projects, they'd call each other up, and they'd work together.
And he needed help, which a lot of times he would have. I know he had a number of patrolmen, the state patrol, and he would have them working during the day, and then they would be their patrolmen at night.
Back then in the winter time, he would clean walls because of the cooking that people would do in their kitchens with their stoves and the grease and the wood burners and the people who would smoke in their houses. So he would wash the walls. Well, once the walls got washed, they needed them painted. So he would paint the walls. So that's how the painting division came about. When Grandpa Cloute was at the bank one time getting a loan for a vehicle, the banker said, "We need our bank cleaned. Do you do that?" So that's how the janitorial division came about. So that's all the same divisions that we have today, he actually did back in the 50s.
Each of those divisions have sprouted from his desire to keep the employees busy. My father set up the business with the insurance and the payroll and the government to have everything. It was structurally
all that's needed to start a business and stick by the rules.
Grandpa Cloute as a man, what I look up to most with him is that he really knew how to balance his life. He prioritized his life in a way that he was a man of strong faith. He loved his family, and then there was work.
Dad was an amazing man. He was very serious about his work and everything else, but when it came to family, that was everything. His convictions to his faith and everything else were so strong. On a Good Friday example, if there were church services that we had to sing, Dad would shut down, he'd take us to church. We never missed. There was never a happier time for my dad than to have his family together. And if we could go to church together, he was just on cloud nine.
He was with the family as far as making our games, when we had games, football games, baseball games. He was there. That part of his being self-employed, he was able to do that.
My grandpa was actually a pretty stone-faced guy when you saw him. But once you got to know him, he was not a man of many words, but when he spoke, you always listened to him.
Dad believed in working hard, and on his exterior he was grumpy, but yet he was a nice guy. I mean, if we ever did have differences, we got it out in the open, which was always perfect. It didn't last.
As the company's grown and I've realized how life can get so busy, I'll go back to thinking about Grandpa, how on Thursdays he would golf, on Saturdays he would fish, on Sunday he'd go to church and eat with his family. And he always seemed to be there for the grandkids, always seemed to be there for my dad.
He really enjoyed his work. I never ever remember him complaining about having to get up to go to work or to work long hours. And specifically, I remember one time when he was working on taxes and he came out of the den and made an exclamation point that they had netted a certain amount of money, which we all just were dumbfounded. And in this day and age, what he was talking about wouldn't support a person for a month. And they were ecstatic because they had hit this point. It boggles my mind yet to this day when I think of that, how they worked and worked and worked and never made it seem like work.
Included in that was Dad's making us mow the lawn, shovel the sidewalk, and it was always fun. It wasn't a burden. It was always seemed to be good things that came from us being together, doing those things.
So growing up in the family business, there was never just work and there was never just fun. They kind of all went together, which is kind of what I learned, that you just balance your life and they both become fun. There isn't, oh, I have to go to work. You get to go to work.
Dad enjoyed work and enjoyed being a part of it, and was concerned about being done right, making sure the customers were taken care of correctly. And I think Dad had a lot to say about it too, making sure the customers were cared for.
He always bent over to do the best that he could do for anybody. And he was a gruff person sometimes, but really soft when it came to his family or anybody in need. We used to laugh because he'd come home from work and Mom would say, well, what did you do? And he'd say, well, I did Mrs. So-and-so and Mrs. So-and-so. And my mom said, well, just the screech. No, I had to flip their mattresses. And she would always make a joke and she'd say, one of these days you're going to start brushing their teeth for them. But that's how he was. He just did anything people asked of him.
I do remember waking up Saturday mornings and going to work with him. And there were days when it wasn't easy to wake up and the hand slap on the door would bounce us out of bed pretty quickly. That'd be my brother and I. And he needed to go to work. We needed to get the promises that he made to customers that we had to do.
I remember specifically one time we were working on a really nice home. And he always teased me specifically because when I would wash windows, he'd say, "You're washing like this," because I was peeking in to see everything. And he said, "Get back to work."
It was a Friday night. I was supposed to be at a basketball game, and we had to go clean the bank before I could go to the basketball game. And I'm in the basement cleaning a toilet, and I'm kind of slopping the Johnny mop around and not doing a very good job. And he came in and he said, "Son, the only thing worse than cleaning a crappy toilet is doing a crappy job cleaning the toilet." And to this day, I've always thought of that what he was really saying is, if you're going to do something, do it well and be excellent at it. Being a family-run business, my father, Bob, joined the business at a very young age, working all through grade school, high school for the company, and then he went off to college and realized that he wanted to come back and work with the family business. So that was in the mid-70s, right about the time I was born. He chose to take on the career that his father had.
Our expansion in the 70s and 80s was due to a lot of things. We worked out of station wagons. I grew the scheduling out of Dad saying you have to remember that. So I started a schedule book, and people saw that, hey, they're doing that account every month. I wonder if they'd come over and do ours. Needing more employees and working with the trucks, letting them go on a job and teaching them work ethics and pride of getting a job done right. In the early 90s, I bought the business, which was painstakingly decided to do just a handshake agreement. And he did cut back on his work. And I don't think he had his fishing trips up to Canada and things like that he enjoyed, but he was still working. I really don't remember him retiring completely. Dad passed away in 1993. We continued on with the business, and Mom continued answering the phone and doing the bookwork.
My dad is also a man of very strong faith. He cares about people like you wouldn't believe. You don't hear him ever talk about money. He talks about people, whether it's the customer, whether it's the employee. He cares about people, and that's what I really enjoy about my father and respect about my father. You know, my father, Bob, he always will talk to me about not taking things so serious. And one time I was stressing out over a customer and how the windows didn't turn out the way they were supposed to. And he looked at me and he said, "It's not life or death, it's just a dirty window. Go take care of it."
In the 90s, Eli got to be high school, college age, where he worked in the summers and he'd work on weekends.
Bring friends home from college and we'd work. After my sophomore year of college, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I thought, I'm just going to come back and work for the family business. And my dad encouraged me to finish up college.
And I think then Eli wanted to finish school. He wanted to finish his senior year at Martin Luther College. There was a time when Eli decided to move to Montana, and he took his truck and his trailer, which was a makeshift trailer that he bought from somebody, in a little S10, black S10 pickup truck, and he moved to Kalispell, Montana.
And I thought it would be fun to go and work out in Montana at a golf course. I did that for about 2 weeks, and sure enough, in Montana, I was washing windows again. That's when I kind of knew that probably sticking to the cleaning world is kind of what I was born to do.
When Eli came back from Montana, he was working for the company, and I think the jobs we took on were a lot bigger jobs. He became more concerned about as far as who we hired and how we hired. Then I know he became really involved when we built the new building, and the building with the shop and the office.
I decided that Cloute was a permanent thing for me when I realized that it was more than just the work that we did, but it was dealing with the customers and dealing with the employees and helping the challenges that the customers had and helping with the challenges that the employees had. That's what's fun for me.
For the third generation and Eli taking hold like he has, it's just a lot of pride. I say from my dad to myself in the scheduling and then to Eli and taking those divisions and excelling those divisions, and the knowledge that he's picking up from other people and expanding is where the business is going.
Over the years, our company expanded, and finally in 2011, I came on board as part owner. And to this day, my dad still works in the business alongside me, which is very helpful for me.
Now that Eli has taken over, I do have less responsibility, but yet I can do what I want. And it's a point of being able to do as much as I want and as little as I want.
From 1953 until today, how the company has changed is obviously the growth of the amount of employees and the customer base, but also the systems and the processes that we've put in place to do over and over again what my grandpa used to do and what my dad used to do, that we're able to train employees to go through that same process and do what we've done for all of these years. A simple mission that each one of our employees knows is we simplify the building care for our homeowners and our business owners by taking care of their chores. At Cloute, we wanted to really identify our core values so that we could instill them and have a way for our employees to remember them. And we built an acronym.
The core value acronym is Cloute. C is for care, L is for loyalty, O is for optimism, U is for unity, T is for thankfulness, and E is for excellence. I think it's really important that we have this core value and set it up. It's about what we do for the customer and how we treat our employees.
With care, we explain it that we treat our customers, our employees, and our vendors like family. We know that at some point, something bad's going to happen in somebody's life, and we want to be there to help them out. Loyalty can be thought of in a bunch of different ways, but we really want to instill and think about loyalty that we follow through with our commitments. If we tell our employees that we're going to do something, we follow through and do it. If we tell our customers we're going to do something, we follow through and do it. And our employees are the same way. If they say they're going to do something, it's very important that they follow through and do it. Optimism. This one kind of comes out of my father, who's always very optimistic, always positive, always saying a joke, and it really brings up the mood for the entire company. Positive attitude goes a long way, and it can make any chore fun if you're positive. Unity. We work as a team to accomplish whatever our customers throw at us. Whatever comes up in the day, we work together as a team to accomplish that. Thankfulness. We are thankful for all the blessings that God has given us, and especially the fact that He's given us a place to work. He's given us customers to do work for, and we're very thankful for that. Excellence. We don't know where this quote came from, but every job performed is a self-portrait of the person who did it. Therefore, autograph your work with excellence. That's how we look at excellence.
Cloute's core values, those are something that has come full circle lately. We do everything with those core values. We hire with them. When we're discussing anything with employees, customers, we are always trying to go back to those core values. It's just something that, we don't compromise when we're looking for people, and when we're interacting with anyone, it's just part of who we are.
And along with that came our slogan, "Your chore is our passion." And the guys really like that because they know that they're taking someone else's chore and they're taking that off of their plate and doing it very well. and making a difference in all of our customers' lives. I always found it interesting that I never saw my grandpa or heard of my grandpa ever firing an employee. But all of a sudden you could just tell this guy wasn't clicking with the company and he just wouldn't show up the next day. So I think it had a lot to do with the culture that we still have to this day. And there's so much truth behind the fact that if you don't feel like you fit in and you don't share those values, you probably don't want to be part of it.
Dad's attitude of working hard and being honest and caring for a customer lives on for today.
One thing that's a little different about my father than my grandpa is my dad always has a smile on his face. He's always positive, and he's a jokester. His optimism brings joy to what we do here at Cloute every single day.
I do see a need now where I'm working on trying to help an employee that may have problems that I want to help, and it would include spiritual. It would be the mind, body, and soul, that hopefully I can influence them in a positive way. I'm thankful every day that the employees that we do have.
The thing that's really unique, though, about Cloute is the culture that has been built here. Really a culture that's based on mutual trust and respect, where every single individual within this organization is really highly valued, and where they're respected, and where we want them to feel like they're a part of this family.
The company is like family run. They're very friendly. They're very nice. You can come to them with any problems, and they'll understand. They understand everyone's human, and it's not like money, business. They understand that you have another life and that things happen, and if you're willing to work hard, they're the best employee I've ever had.
As painting for different companies than Cloute, I've experienced stuff as not getting my paychecks on time or hours just suddenly being cut and no work, rude management. At Cloute, there's none of that. Management cares. They're willing to listen to you and help you out. They're very friendly people. Hours are always there. There's always work year-round.
I love working in a positive environment because it makes the day go a lot quicker, a lot less stress to the job. And the reason I personally love having a good attitude about my work is my customers will realize it. They see it in me, and it makes them enjoy my work a lot better.
Cloute kind of has an honest personality, I would say. There's not many businesses I feel that are run the way that we are run. We take an owner's perspective. We're always going to be honest, upfront, and open with all of our customers. We really just kind of want to give them the best service that we can.
One thing, even at a young age, you watch very closely what your grandpa's doing, what your dad's doing, and how they carry themselves, and they were always respected in the community.
They actually enjoy seeing us when we do come. It's a attitude of them liking us and us enjoying them and providing that service for them.
We're the first point of contact, believe it or not. We're not just the cleaners, but when a customer walks into a business, the first thing they're going to look at is this entryway cleaned? Is this desk clean? Is this floor clean? And that's what drives our employees to be motivated to take care of those buildings.
What we do for our commercial clients is basically let them forget about having to worry about that building and how it's going to look, because it's going to look the same every day. It's going to look great.
Management, they encourage you to go in early sometimes to maybe see the office manager so you can make personal contact with them and kind of feel them out and get a relationship going with the people that work at the clinic. And I think when you get to know the people that you're cleaning for, you'll know what they want.
And in turn, that really helps our customers because they realize that Cloute really does care. They know that when they hire us to do a job, we'll put the right person in the right place at the right time to get the job done well for them.
It's amazing the amount of comments we get from our customers, that the men and women who work out in the field and work with our customers Comments like they were such nice people, they were so respectful, they were so clean, they cleaned up so well, they had their booties on when they came into the house. Our business is all about word or mouth. Most of the new business we get is because of a referral from a previously happy customer. And so it's just critical that our reputation is really everything to us.
Cloute has grown with the community as the community grows, and I see that with the banks and our involvement with the churches and the offices and the insurance companies that helped us and work with us.
Here at Cloute, we serve the customer by doing the chores that take away from them being able to, A, possibly grow their business, B, spend some time with their families, or C, do other things with their coworkers or other customers. In the end, it really wraps up into your chore is our passion.
Dad took very good care of his employees. He treated them like family, friends at the very least, never just as someone who punched the clock.
The thing I appreciate the most about having employees is that each one of them is different. You can't treat them all the same. They all have their own skill sets, they all have their own challenges, they all have their own problems, and they all have their own things that they can give back to the company and give back to me to make the organization move forward each and every day in a positive way.
I think that the employees should expect of the Cloute management that we really care about them. We're thankful to have them here as an employee. We're going to listen to all their cares and their concerns. We're going to provide a wonderful place for them to work, proper training at all times, and in the end, hopefully just an all-around good life cycle.
My boss is a very nice person because he had a lot of patience to us because we not speak too much English, so it's very, very nice, and yeah, I like these guys and this company.
Our employees should be able to expect that when they have a concern or when they have an issue, that they can take that concern to their supervisor and they can get an answer. And if that answer is not satisfactory, they can take it up to the next level of management to be able to understand what it is their concern is and for us to do everything we possibly can to address it.
The people, the owners here are so nice. If you have any problems or any question or anything, you can call them without feeling like they're going to scold you for anything. They're there to help you.
Management's actually pretty calm. They're nice, easy to talk to. You can come to them with any problems you have, and they're always willing to listen. They are willing to help if you ever ask for help.
I know they'll always have my back, and there's no problem there. And if I do my best, I know it's going to be good.
In other jobs, management, you can tell they're management, and they act like management, and they appear as they're better than everyone else. That's not the case here at Cloute. Everyone is kind of on the same playing field. Management, no matter it's the owner, a manager, employee, everyone interacts as they're on the same level.
Mistakes happen, but that's when we get to learn, is when something doesn't go right. We learn from that. We get better for the next time. Management will always encourage employees. They'll put the best tools in their hands to get the job done, and the training will happen so that you know what you're doing when you go out into the field.
The management's so unique around here because they're learning with you. They really take your ideas and your suggestions that you give them, and they're just really awesome people, very easy to talk to, very open with communication with their employees. You don't really have a lot of stuff hidden from you. They're not behind closed doors. They're right there working with us every day.
I think they could also expect to have a lot of good working hours. I mean, we strive very, very hard to keep our employees. If we say that they're going to be a full-time employee, they're going to work full-time. If they want to have overtime, we offer that in many, many situations, overtime. Or if they want to be a part-time employee, that more is conducive with their schedule. We try to be very flexible in that area.
As a painter, if paintwork slows down for the winter, they have snow removal crews for everybody to help on. There's always window washing that needs help, stuff around the shop. Trucks all need worked on a little bit here and there. There's always hours for employment.
I got my 40 hours and I got 20 hours overtime all the time. Yeah, for a week.
We also try to recognize excellent performance on a regular basis. We do things like company picnics and gifts at Christmas and monthly meetings, monthly Employee of the Month recognition.
It's a good time to work for Cloute right now because we just started a lot of incentive programs. We're getting, cash back for jobs that take more than a couple of days, jobs that we're putting a lot of hours and a lot of time into. We're getting holiday bonuses. They just started an Employee of the Month program, and you can get your car cleaned.
What excites me about coming to work is knowing that I get to lead and work alongside the employees and build their character and help them to realize that they play a role in the success of the company, that it's more than just a paycheck for them, but it's something that they can be proud of. It's something that they can get excited about and that they can enjoy coming to every day.
I think the expectations that management has for the employees here at Cloute is excellence. What we try to portray here is excellence for our customers, and to give that, we need to have excellent employees.
The employees that we hire, they come in and the first thing we show them is our core values. And we can tell right away if they're a fit or not based on those core values.
Management would expect new employees to be willing to be trained in the Cloute way. We don't do things exactly like other cleaning companies or window washing companies. We have techniques and methods that we believe are the most efficient and deliver the highest quality, and that you're going to treat all of the encounters that you have with people on the job with showing them trust and respect, because you will run into significant influencers in the course of your job, and it's important to greet them with a smile and say hello and make sure that they're feeling good about the people that we have in their buildings.
With our employees here at Cloute, in the service industry that we are, our schedules kind of tend to go longer, go shorter. We expect everyone to be pretty flexible here. With that being said, our customers sometimes add on additional jobs, or the jobs go longer than anticipated. Whatever that may be, we kind of just expect our employees to be very respectful, want to get that job done for them and possibly work longer just so they can be satisfied.
All of our employees take on an owner's perspective. They look at a building, they look at a house, and they say, if this was mine, what would I do? How would I clean it? What would be the most efficient way to do it? And what would be the best way to do it to get the job done? In training our employees, we have two different life cycles is what we call them. We have an employee life cycle and we have a customer life cycle. And each one of our employees is taken through that life cycle so they know at each touch point what's going to happen to them as an employee as far as their training goes and the tools that they're going to learn how to use. And as far as the customer goes, those touch points, what happens when I show up to a customer's house? What happens when I go into this building? They're trained along the way on how to do each aspect of that life cycle.
Well, part of the thoroughness of the training that we do here at Cloute is actual on-the-job training, teaching you how to do each and every job the Cloute way. The second thing that we'll teach you how to do is how to interact with the customers. After you're done with the job, checking in with the customers, responding to their phone calls, making sure that there's nothing else that you can do. And the third thing is that we're going to teach you how to possibly work with a team. Sometimes you'll work by yourself, sometimes you'll be working in a team environment.
We have different videos for training purposes. We like to do a lot of team training, so we will put you with someone who has been here for a lot longer. And I think that's really helps with the success of the training.
This is how you do it with perfection, or this is how you do it with excellence. It's easier to show somebody than it is to tell them to do that job.
I feel like I could go any other place with the training that they provided here and do a good job, very good job, because they are efficient and they train you well.
You know, beyond just teaching you window washing, they teach you a lot of safety stuff. That's one thing that always comes first around here, and that you can apply to everything in your daily life, you know, approaching things safely. And two, they teach you how to do things efficiently, using your time really well, and obviously that you can apply to your regular day-to-day life, which is an awesome skill to learn. And number three, they've sent us to a lot of workshops out in places like Madison and Chicago, which has helped me learn the skills to teach the people under me with confidence. And number four, we work with a lot of customers on a face-to-face basis, whether business or residential. I feel confident that I can get the job done right.
I see myself as a painter working at Cloute, growing in more than one way. They've taught me a couple different things. I know how to drywall mud now and hang sheetrock. I know how to do the window washing. You learn all sorts of stuff coming from Cloute.
The one thing that we can do is we can teach people coming into our organization just about everything they need to be successful. But we can't teach them attitude. If they have the right attitude and the willingness to want to be a part of this organization and work hard, they can be very successful here.
At Cloute, we want you to advance your career. We want you to learn more. We want you to take ownership of what you do and be excited to come to work every day.
Well, if you're thinking about working here, hands down, these guys are great. They're the nicest people to work for. They're the nicest company I've ever worked for.
Anyone that's looking to apply for a job at Cloute, I tell them it's a great company. Always great employees and coworkers. It's fun. They do throw company parties for holidays. You get bonuses for your birthday and holidays. It's just a great company. I love it.
Well, I think one of the greatest reasons to be a part of Cloute here is that it's a growing business. It's got a management team that really cares about their employees' life cycle and really cares about the work in the community that's being done. And it's a flexible job. There, you can work nighttime, you can work daytime. We're willing to really work with the employee to fit them in a spot that works for them.
Because Cloute is such a small business, really as they grow, you have nowhere to go but up. I've only been here for 2 years, and I've already gotten promoted to a management position where I've had people under me, which is awesome. And they're making more and more pushes to continue growing over these next couple years.
A person can become a Cloute employee. Obviously, whatever avenue they find us in, they will come in here. We'll kind of give them a tour of who we are, what we do, and then upon interviewing them, we will go over our core values. And you can pretty much tell if it's a match with that person, if that's something that they are truly committed to.
Well, you can check our website at Cloute Inc., or you can look us up on Facebook, or you can stop by our Madison Avenue location and pick up an application. We'd be more than happy to speak with you, and we look forward to telling you more about our story.
At Cloute, we want our employees to know that they're not just a window cleaner or just a person moving a mop or just a person moving a paintbrush, but they're a team member who's making a difference in all of our customers' lives, and it's something that they can go home at the end of the night and be very proud of. At Cloute, your chore is our passion. We're located in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin, and geographically we serve all of southern Wisconsin.